So I guess the whole reason why I started a podcast, and I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted so much things to come from it to understanding that, like, you know what I mean? Oh, maybe I can have a fancy background, or I can have these dope ass microphones and all this stuff, you know what I mean? And I got caught behind. I mean, I just couldn't do it. So I was like, man, what if I just do it out of a car? Do my first one out of my car. Or not my car, but my girlfriend's car. Do it out of a car. It means more chill. You know what I mean? I'm just kicking it. So I thought of that. You know what I mean? And anybody else that I'm gonna invite on, I'm gonna do it out of a car. Seems more better that way. So how the J. Claire Buckley story starts is I have to go all the way back to this little place called Eagle Butte, South Dakota. I grew up in Eagle Butte, South Dakota. Just one place. Grew up in a 2-bedroom trailer. You know what I mean? Just like any other story, but this is my story. So growing up, we didn't have a lot. I grew up in a household where my shoes were so tight on my feet because we couldn't get the right, the right shoe. Grew up in a household full of women. One brother. My dad raised us all. I would always get treated differently. I was the baby of the family of 7. You know what I mean? So it's hard. But as later on life goes on, you know what I mean? My earliest memories were trying to be a kid. We never celebrated all these holidays everybody has nowadays. I mean, like Christmas, 4th of July, all these holidays, you know what I mean? Even Thanksgiving. We didn't celebrate those. We just respected them. You know what I mean? And like I said, one of my earliest moments is probably the trauma. I remember the trauma over anything that I could ever understand. So when I was a little kid, when I was 6 years old, I was sexually molested twice. Once by a grown man that I thought I was supposed to, thought he was supposed to be a protector to me, but I looked up to the man, you know what I mean? He was my grandpa. And by doing that, you know what I mean, by having that happen to me, I didn't know what to think, you know what I mean? And then being sexually molested again by another family member. So then I thought it was over. You know what I mean? I thought it was done. So I knew pain, letdown, disappointment, all this stuff, all these negative feelings that they tell you about in treatment or therapy, I was feeling at a young age. I thought I was, I don't know, I just never could be normal. So as time goes on, when I was 9 years old, it happened again by another family member, a person that I was actually looking up to. It was my own brother. I never thought it would hit that hard for me, you know what I mean? So from there on then, I stopped looking up to him. I stopped looking up to a lot of people in my life because I thought they were going to hurt me. They were going to put me through a lot of things. So I became more closed off. I never had a lot of friends growing up. Always moving a lot, for real. We moved a lot when I was a little kid. I went from, like I said, Eagle Butte, South Dakota. Eagle Butte, South Dakota. We went from Bismarck, North Dakota, to Grand Forks. Grand Forks was our home. And it's still home to this day for me, because I remember I grew up there. I went to Lake Agassiz. I went to Valley Middle School, you know what I mean? But it wasn't easy for me to live in a big town. I always got picked on because I was Native American. I had long hair. I ain't gonna lie to you. I used to get called a girl, you know what I mean, because I had long hair and I was chubby, you know what I mean? So I would get picked on, get beat up until, you know what I mean, I gathered other natives together and I said, no, I'm tired of this, dude. You know what I mean? And sure enough, there was white kids hanging out with us, you know what I mean, joining us, having our back and everything, and that was cool. But the trauma was still there. I would still hang out with all the kids that would want to cause trouble, want to cause ruckus, didn't matter. I wanted to cause pain, wanted to get in trouble, whatever it was, I was in the mix. You know what I mean? I didn't care. I forced myself to do that because I felt connected in some way. I felt that I belonged. You know what I mean? And I remember the first time I smoked marijuana. I smoked bud the first time. It was actually with my one of my good buddies and our good friend back in the day. And we ended up smoking out of a pop can. We had nothing else to smoke out of. We ended up smoking out of a pop can. It was ditch-ass weed, really. It was fucking some Reggie. Wasn't no this high grade that they got nowadays, but it was just some regular weed, you know what I mean? Just fucking dirt-ass shit, whole bunch of fucking stems, fucking seeds in it, and everything. So we smoked that, we got caught. I got caught by my brother, you know what I mean? And this vendetta I have with my brother, you know what I mean? It's always going to be there regardless, but he ends up getting mad at me and tells me, oh, you want to smoke weed? I was like, yeah, like, I care less what the fuck he said or what he had to say or anything. He said, you want to smoke weed? All right, bet. So I went to go hang out with him and his friends, and they ended up smoking, like, that was the first time I ever seen a blunt. Started smoking a blunt. Got high as fuck to the point where I puked up. Finally got home, and I was happy to get home because all I was fucking hungry, dude. I wanted a big ass pitcher of fucking Kool-Aid. And this is the Kool-Aid where you had the Kool-Aid packs and you had to add your own sugar and shit, mix it all up. And I mean, made that, and I remember seeing a pack of hot dogs. I was just fucking boiling hot dogs and sitting in front of the TV eating. Smashed a whole pack of hot dogs, dude. I was only 9 years old, I mean, give a fuck. But, I mean, as time going on, I mean, got into drinking. Started drinking. My first alcohol beverage was actually fucking the fuck was it? It was vodka, something that sweet, like fucking, maybe it was bod, I don't know what it was, but I remember drinking it, taking a fucking, my brother and them all came back, and I went in the room and I said, hey, what's up, this and that, and I was just chilling, bro, and I'd seen they had a soda, a fucking Mountain Dew bottle. I'm like, damn, they had a liter. Like, damn, let me get a drink, I'm really thirsty. My brother's like, no, you don't want none of this. But his homie Chris was like, no, man, take a drink. Took a drink. Fucking, I didn't care. I just fucking grabbed the whole bottle, squeezed it. And I'm thinking, I'm gonna drink as much as I can. Doom, doom, doom. Nope. First fucking gulp, I fucking threw up all over the floor. Threw up all over his fucking rug, and he said, man, you better clean that shit up. Ooh, this and that. Cleaned it up, ended up getting drunk that night with him, making a big ass pitcher of Kool-Aid. Got drunk with him. Remember getting carried back to the room and getting put to bed. Then I got a taste for it. So we start sneaking, you know what I mean? Start drinking. I start hanging out with the people that could get it. Start hanging out with the people that I knew that drank and stuff, and start doing that. But don't get me wrong. It wasn't really a bad lifestyle I lived. I wasn't raised to be what I am to this day, or what I went through. I came through a nice lifestyle. My dad, he gave us quotes. He gave us morals to this day that still stick in my head. He was about discipline. He was there as a loving father, but he wasn't always there. He was always gone. Every summer he would be leaving. He would be gone on, I mean, like, doing whatever he does. I mean, boxing expeditions, whatever it was, he was always on medical, like going doing medical things over here, New York City, Washington, D.C. One year he got the Native American of the Year. He went out there to Washington, D.C. and stuff like that. But this isn't his life. This is mine. So how it all played in was that we could get away with anything. So I started having friends, and I started having, like, giving people to go stay with, and one of my good buddies back in the day, his name was Odie. He was like, man, bro, come stay with us for one summer, woo, this and that. And he just lived like fucking, I don't know, maybe that far, like 3-4 blocks away from us. So I stayed at their house, you know what I mean, kicked it with him. And how I met him was through another friend, and word heard back, like, I mean, like, oh, hey, man, he heard about me, I heard about him. Like, well, come chill. So I went to go chill, kick it with him. First night we met, like, we watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre and a big ass bowl of fucking nachos, dude. I remember that shit because it was a big ass fucking bowl, bro. We fucking demolished the whole fucking thing. Yeah, I mean, I knew that that day he was one of my good friends. I mean, so we did that and fucking, we kicked it, man. So, as time rolled on through there, as